Good morning! Welcome to a new week. We are doing a no spend challenge this week, as you probably know from the title, but lots of things coming up that are going to cost me a lot of money, such as we're going on a weekend trip this weekend. The weekend after that, we're going on a weekend trip. The weekend after that, we're going on our honeymoon. So there's a lot of things that will be taking money from the bank accounts upcoming. And so I wanted to do just a no spend week as we head into those things, just to see what we can save so that then we have more money whenever we have to spend so much money. The little caveat here is that it is Monday to Friday, just because I started the vlog today. So Monday to Friday, we are not spending any optional money. I say optional because obviously if there's like actual living expenses, those will get spent. I don't think though that there are any bills that I have due this week, like in the kind of last week of the month. Everything will hit again in the first week of the next month, but I do not foresee any bills coming through that I have thought of. The only one thing that I think that could possibly be using my card for, probably will be using my card for this week, will be lunches at work because it's a cafeteria at work. However, I did, in like a money saving mindset type of thing, I did get some discount sandwiches from Kroger yesterday that I think I got 2. So at least 2 days this week, my lunch will be those sandwiches that are already paid for in the grocery budget. So I am saving money even on lunches. I typically budget $10 per day for myself for lunch, which I realize like that just feels like a lot, but also it's a hospital cafeteria and they just keep raising prices on us. That is soon gonna push me into just bringing lunch every day, but hasn't yet. So if my card gets used this week, it'll probably be on lunches at the cafeteria, but I will tell you as that happens. And the goal for literally everything else is that no cards are getting used. Like no money is leaving the system. So far this month, we've had a pretty low spend month, which feels good, but we're just upping the difficulty level for this last week of the month. So I'm excited. Thanks for joining. I will tell you about any time I am tempted to buy something this week, tempted to spend money. And obviously I don't know how the week will go, but I'm hoping that we're just successful in not. The weekend trip we do leave for on Friday, so obviously the no spend challenge will stop like at the moment that we have to get an Uber to the airport, because then we're gone, then we're going. But current me is looking forward to you seeing my future successes. I just have to make those successes happen by not spending money. We are headed into work. It is a Monday, regular work week, Monday to Friday this week. Nothing too stand out. I feel like I have a more meeting heavy week this week. It's not good or bad, just kind of different than some weeks. And I'm excited to bring you with me. In the workday, I did spend $3.39 on a core power, which I knew I was going to do, but I had my discounted sandwich. And so in a typical budget of having $10 a day for lunch and spending $3.39, that still feels like a win so far. That's a good running total so far for the week. And we are gonna make dinner tonight. Dinner, we are ignoring the fact that it is 85 degrees outside and we are making chili. I feel like you just need one more chili in the season, along with the fact that this is a money saving hack that really does save us quite a bit. I've started, whenever I'm making meal plans for the week, I'll go to our pantry and see what we have in it and then choose recipes that have those ingredients to make for the week, which I know sounds like, duh, you could just do that, but it's not something I always think about. In case you don't know, in case you haven't heard me talk about it yet, I use this app called Mealime for all of my like grocery and meal planning and recipes. It is a free app. It has a premium like option, but I've never gotten the premium. It's just a free app. Mealime, you can make a meal plan in each week and then it makes you a grocery list and then it gives you all of the recipes, which is just wonderful. So what I've been doing is in the beginning of the week, looking in my pantry, seeing what's there, and then just typing those into Mealime to pick up recipes that have those items. So the chili that we're making today is because I had 2 cans of kidney beans in the pantry that had no purpose waiting for them. Granted, kidney beans are probably under $2 if I were to get 2 cans of kidney beans. So it's not like that in and of itself is really saving the bank, but it's the principle of it. Because there are times that I'll get, like, for example, walnuts is another thing that we're using this week. I think I got walnuts for a recipe a few weeks ago, maybe even like a month or 2 ago, and we only used half the walnuts. So then now I just have the other half walnuts sitting in there. And so by consistently doing this, obviously eventually I'm going to run out of pantry items, and I am getting close to running out of pantry items that I can do that with. But I feel like that's great because it's less wasted food that I've already paid for, and then it does bring the grocery bill down some to not be getting all the ingredients because we're using the ingredients that we already have. So today is chili with the kidney beans, among other ingredients, and I'm really excited for it. my chili all plated and ready. And then I also, today's juice does not look that appetizing because it is carrot and apple mostly. It's ginger, carrot, apple, and like a little bit of kale, just the kale that we had left. And then I did put my creatine in the juice today. Usually I do creatine in hot chocolate at night, but I figured this way, like I could still have hot chocolate if I want to, but at least the creatine's been consumed in another beverage. We do get, wasn't sure about it in a previous vlog, we do get the Muscle Milk brand, and it's just unflavored creatine, so really it can go in any beverage, which is nice for the versatility. And the juice is good. It's pretty basic compared to some other juices that we've done, just with it being the apple, carrot, ginger, little kale. It's fun to switch things up, adding in like beets and pineapples and mint and various things, but this one's basic and it's good. Two fun things today at work, or like notable things, I suppose. One of my coworkers is getting married in like a week and a half, I think it is. It's the wedding that we're going to in a couple weekends. So we're having her like wedding celebration. Can you even see me? Oh yeah, hi. We're having her wedding celebration today. And so we're doing like a yogurt parfait bar is the thought, because pre-wedding, not everybody really wants like Dunkin', which is kind of our usual go-to. Either Dunkin' or Einstein for bagels. Not everybody necessarily wants that before their wedding. And so we figured a yogurt parfait was nice variation that everybody would enjoy. And so I have 4 things of yogurt, 3 vanilla, 1 strawberry, 2 raspberries, 2 blackberries, 3 things of granola, 1 of them is gluten-free, and some blueberry muffins, which I think is a pretty good spread. Another one of my coworkers is bringing decorations, and then another one is bringing things for like iced coffee. So I think it'll be really fun and a good way to celebrate her. It's a surprise because she would never go for it if she knew it was happening. So it's a surprise today. And then the other thing that's like outside of the regular work day that is notable today is that I'm meeting with our director. It should be all good. I'll have a job by the end of the day. But it does make me like kind of anxious because I've barely ever talked to our director just because I haven't had like need to. And so I put on blush today. I was like, oh, let me spruce things up just a little bit since I'm having that meeting today. So me and all of my little groceries for the yogurt parfait are gonna head to work. I'm just including the yogurt parfait stuff into like our grocery budget. We do have like a gift/donation line item in the budget, but it just didn't feel worth it to like truly separate those out since it was just bought with the groceries. So groceries might be a tad bit higher, but all worth it. I like this shirt for its like comfort level, but I feel like coloring wise, I like really need to wear makeup and switch something about my color palette. I don't know enough to know exactly what that is, but I feel like it just brings out the like deadness in my eyes. Tuesday was a $0 spent day. The little celebration that we had for my coworker's wedding with the food that I brought, and other people brought food too, was very successful, and also meant that like I didn't purchase lunch because we'd had that. So $0 spent today, which feels pretty successful. And then whenever I got home, the dinner that I would have showed you a clip of was honey walnut shrimp with rice and broccoli, and that was because we had walnuts sitting in our pantry, so that was the ingredient that I was purposely using in the meal plan this week. And then I was going to tell you about like library books and how like using your library can be a money-saving habit, and then I actually just like sat on the couch and scrolled TikTok instead of sitting on the couch and reading, so I kind of felt like a phony if I would have like been telling you about library books yesterday. That is though because I kind of wanted to touch on, like I said, a few little like money-saving things that I focus on in life in this video. But using your library instead of purchasing like audiobooks or Kindle books can be such a money saver. I always take for granted Libby and like knowing about Libby. So if you don't know about Libby, Libby's an app that you can connect a library card to. Then you can get audiobooks and Kindle books from your library without paying for them. And whether or not you have a Kindle, Libby books you can either read on the Libby app itself or you can send them to Kindle. The downside obviously is that since it is a library system, if it is like checked out by someone else, sometimes you have to wait for holds. But if you plan far enough in advance, then you always are having at least a book that you are interested in. And if you get a hold that becomes ready on Libby, you can defer it if you are not ready. And if you defer a hold on Libby, but then you end up actually like being ready to read it, you can undefer that hold and then get the book. So if you have a Kindle, or even if you just have a phone, you can get books for free that way. I'll tell you about my book sometime this week that I'm reading, because I'm really loving it, and I'm hoping to finish it this week before we travel this weekend, because honestly it's kind of a chunky book and I'd love to not pack it on the plane, especially if I only by that point have like 100 pages left or something. But I'm really loving it and have been really looking forward to picking it up this week. Everything else went good yesterday too, like my meetings and everything. It was a fine day. This morning, instead of doing a matcha latte, I did just like a kind of regular latte, because our new coffee maker doesn't do like espresso shots. So I just did like very concentrated small amount of brewed coffee, and I have some like leftover protein milk here. That's gonna be my refill as I drink, but I used a vanilla core power to make the like latte. So I get a little protein. And this one we had just gotten in groceries. I do have one more lunch to bring that I'll bring today. However, that will be my last lunch that I have to bring. And I still think I'm probably getting core power today. But I mean, so far, and it is Wednesday, so like halfway through, almost halfway through, we haven't done Wednesday yet. The no spend week hasn't been a big burden. I also think I'm getting kind of lucky in that apparently the week that I chose to do this is also a week that I just like haven't had many needs coming up and like didn't have many plans. So it really is kind of just like the ideal week to not spend. But if I wasn't specifically doing this challenge, like I could have been online shopping or things that would not have the same money saving effect as not spending does. I feel like once I put on the lighting, we're gonna need the hair down, I feel like, to really see. Once I put on like blush and eyebrows, I feel like this shirt does me a lot better than when it is just me. I did do, well, okay, I didn't get my colors done, but there was a time like sometime last year, maybe a year ago, where I was seeing people use ChatGPT, which I really do not use ChatGPT, like almost ever, handful of times ever in my life. This was one of them. I saw people using ChatGPT to do like a color analysis, and it would be like you take a picture of yourself without makeup in natural light, and then you would find like the color codes of like your skin tone at like a neutral part of your skin tone, your cheek, eyes, and hair, I think. And then you would like enter those color codes into ChatGPT and ask what your like color palette was. And I think I was deep autumn, which does make sense, and I do think it's accurate, but always in my head I had thought I was winter, because I think if you just think like fair skin, dark hair, you think winter. But since I'm like a very browny hair, like I'm not like blue black type hair, and then I don't have like warm skin, but I don't have like snow white skin. Snow white would be a winter. I can't say that I've like actually really changed what I wear or like what I do in a day based on the color palette that I learned, but I feel like I notice it usually whenever I like put on a color kind of like this one, and I'm like, actually this probably could be a better color. I'm just yapping today. I have things to yap about. But other thing, this Colby mascara I've still really been loving. It's the first tubing mascara that I've ever used, and I really like it. I will say though, I'm on my last Q-tip. Somehow, maybe I could put it on more carefully. I don't know if it's the shape of my eyelash, the shape of my eyelid, or if it's the mascara itself. I always get so much mascara that I have to Q-tip off after putting it on. 100% could be user error, but I feel like even if it is user error, it like happens more with this mascara than with others, but it comes off super duper easy, probably since it is tubing. Haha. Yes. I brought my coffee in here because I thought I was going to drink it as I was getting ready. Oh yeah, taking down the hair really helped. Do you see what I mean? Like, something is funny with this color. My current read is Wellness by Nathan Hill, and Sally Dar Griffin recommended it, and so I started reading it, and I have been loving it. It is over 600 pages. It is a chunky book, and I just love the way it's told. It's following two people who like met in college and now are married, but it goes like forward and back in their relationship. Like, it's not just told in like one single timeline, and you just get to know them on like very deep levels through like various like anecdotes from their life, things they're currently going through, things they've gone through in the past, like fun moments from the past, fun moments now. And since they have been married, they've been together, I think 16 years, like married for a certain number of them, have an 8-year-old. So it's like they're feeling the like kind of stagnation in their marriage, and so are overcoming that. And I'd mentioned this before, but I feel like it's an untapped genre for me to read books that are not romances in the sense of like you're getting to meet people and then see them fall in love and then the book ends. This is like, it's literary, but like it's a romance in the sense that it's the next part where it's like, yes, you get to see them fall in love, and then also you get to see them like live and exist and choose each other again and again, or sometimes like fail at choosing each other well, or fail at connecting well while being married, but then like you just see two very raw people and how they are engaging with each other in a marriage. It's like when I describe it in my head, I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of boring. It's not boring though. Like, it's so good, and it has so many like random tangents in it that are just perfect for me. Like, I could see maybe where it wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea, but it is exactly my cup of tea. tea, and I am loving that. Let me scoot this because I actually set you on top of them. But yesterday, another one of my coworkers gave me a sweet gift because she got a gift for my coworkers getting married and then was like, I never got you one. So I think she got me a matching one. I think we got the same stuff. I'm not sure. So sweet though. This picture frame I just think is so beautiful. I believe it's from Anthropology. Genuinely like so gorgeous. Extra photo print. And now I have extra picture prints too. So like you put pictures in it. And then she also got us this note card set that has like different note cards, 4 different colors of note cards, and then also has envelopes in it. So I just like that is so sweet and thoughtful and was such a surprise because like yesterday was not about me at all. So I was so surprised to get a gift. It was great. It was so thoughtful. Let's see what time it is now that I've been yapping away. 7:25. I do not have that much time. I'm gonna sit here and read for probably about 10 minutes before leaving and drink my little protein coffee. It's so light. This is usually like not at all the color of my coffee. And it's because it's like a fake latte. Okay, hope you have a great day. I'm planning, it would be great if it was like a $0 day. I do think today's probably gonna be a $3.39 day, but I will let you know. I became a bag vlogger this week, for which I greatly apologize. It is now Friday and I feel bad, but I don't even know what happened the past 2 days. I like forgot that I was filming this week. And so, like I said, I greatly apologize. We'll move on from it. But an update for the week, since the whole goal still is the same. I did remember my goal. Today's Friday, so we still have a chance. And we're probably gonna get lunch today, so it'll go up a little bit. But as we know, Monday we got the core power, that was $3.39. Wednesday, I did bring my lunch and I ended up still buying lunch. I was telling my coworker this because I was in the elevator at the same time as her going down to the cafeteria, and someone was like overhearing and started laughing. But I had brought my lunch, but then around like 10 a.m. I got so hungry that I ate the little wrap that I brought, and it was like not substantial enough to fully fill me up. Like it really was a small lunch that I was counting on. And so then around like 1 I got hungry again and I just went to the cafeteria and got food. So that was $8.73 on Wednesday, and then Thursday's lunch was $9.96, which is higher. I also got baklava to treat myself because they had baklava and I was like, that sounds delicious. But we're still staying under the like $10 general budget per day for lunch. And if we keep it up like this, the final week's total is going to be like $25 or something wild like that, which I do think is exciting. I told you I was going to tell you whenever I was tempted to buy things. I was tempted to buy La Colombe's s'mores latte online yesterday. I'm waiting though because there used to be 20% off and now there wasn't 20% off, and it's hard to buy something full price whenever it used to be on sale. And also I was thinking through it, like, do we really need this right now? No, because they're going to be coming to stores. It's like their seasonal latte. They have peppermint mocha, then they have strawberry mocha, and now they have a s'mores latte. So I can only imagine it's coming to stores and we can just like really look for it and find it in stores. I'm continuing to read. I have about 100 pages left in my book. I've got yogurt and granola to start the day, and I've got coffee next to me too. And I started packing this morning, obviously washed my hair because whenever I get home today, we are going to have a pretty quick turnaround to head to the airport, which is very exciting. Are you ready for the final total? The final count up? Should we reflect before or after? I guess we'll reflect after. We'll do the final count up first. So my Friday lunch cost $8.73, which brings our final total for the whole entire no spend week to $30.81. I will say that feels good. I will also say this is a Monday to Friday, which I understand is not an entire full week. So like groceries were cut out at the beginning, so it's not like entirely realistic. So I guess like no spend work week. I will acknowledge that. I will also acknowledge the fact that we didn't have plans this week. Like we weren't going out to dinner or something, which would obviously cost money. But that's kind of the point of the no spend week. Like I got to enjoy my time doing other things that did not cost money and doing other habits that did not cost money. And I mean, it's fun to make dinners at home, and like that's what the essence of this week was. And I feel like it was pretty successful. It was pretty fun. It was nice to like give it a challenge because, like I said, we're not like so super stressed right now, but also just knowing how much is going to be going out of the bank account, it feels nice to be able to tamp down on unnecessary spending. Like had I bought those La Colombe cold brews, that would have been like $36, so I'd be out right now. End of the world? No. Can it end up like adding up as time goes on? Yes, it definitely can. And so I do feel proud of this week. Obviously it's about to break right now whenever we call an Uber, and that's going to be expensive. I feel like this challenge could be fun to do just during like kind of random weeks. Maybe make it more challenging by picking a week that it's not like all of the factors are in my favor. The one thing that really does get me is the lunches at work, because truthfully for the food that I get, I should not be paying that much. And I'm constantly disappointed by the food I'm eating for lunch. And I used to always bring my lunch, and I would like not look down, but I would just like would be confused by people who would always buy lunch because I'm like, you can just bring it. But now that I'm out of the habit of that, it feels daunting to get back in the habit of bringing lunches. And obviously like bringing lunch then means a higher grocery bill, but also I have more agency over my food. I like know what I'm eating. I'm not constantly disappointed by barbecue chicken sandwiches that don't have any barbecue sauce and are just plain pulled chicken on a bun that I paid almost $9 for. Lots of pros to bringing lunch. I think that could be a fun challenge. Maybe that's the next challenge, to make it actually more challenging, is like what I eat in a week, making homemade lunches, or like making lunches and dinners all week, something like that. I think that could be fun. Lots of fun things coming up on the channel. I do believe, if I'm correct in my posting schedule, this video is probably going to come up a little bit out of order, in that I'm going to do a May reset, and I'm going to try to post like really close to real time, just because I feel like the resets at the beginning of the month fit best in a channel to be like towards the beginning of the month. And so I'm going to film that next week, but it'll probably be up the one before this one. And so we're jumping back in time a little bit, but now I'm about to go on all my fun things. And then the things that are coming up are my weekend trip to Denver we're about to go on, but that one I'm not vlogging. But then a weekend trip to North Carolina mountains that we're going to go on that I will be vlogging, and then our honeymoon, which I plan on making videos out of in a way that still like is prioritizing the honeymoon. So just like lots of fun things coming, and I'm so excited to bring you along for it. We will definitely not be no spending in the weeks to come. Make sure to subscribe so that you see all of my spend as much money as I can week challenges, and I'll see you next time.